Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick says the president wants to tax other nations to make up for the tax revenue.
The sooner we balance that budget, the more we can all enjoy the possibilities that exist under Donald Trump's presidency. You know, he would like to replace the Internal Revenue Service with the External Revenue Service.
The Trump administration is forced to take a step back on its mass layoffs and asking the Supreme Court to step in. Madeline Rivera explains.
2 federal judges ordered the administration to hire back thousands of probationary employees. One judge saying the sheer number of employees that were terminated in a matter of days belies any argument that these terminations were due to the employees' individual unsatisfactory performance or conduct. The White House is promising to fight back. It's asking the Supreme Court to step in on birthright citizenship. The administration is asking the High Court to narrow the nationwide injunctions issued by federal district judges in Seattle, Maryland, and Massachusetts.
The Riley Gaines Act has become law in West Virginia. Bronson Woodruff has more.
The new law makes West Virginia the latest state to keep transgender-identified men from using private spaces created for women. This is a law described as common sense by advocates, including Ambassador for the Riley Gaines Center and former NCAA swimmer Caitlin Wheeler. She talked with AFN about this.
I think that's the best words to use it is it's a common piece legislation. It's crazy that we even have to go to the lengths of passing bills in these states that prevent men from competing in women's sports, defining sex-based terms like man, woman, male, female, boy, girl. And that's simply what these do is they define sex-based terms and they protect women's sports, keeping men out of them.
She said it also protects women's opportunities and physical safety, both on and off the field.
We've seen where female athletes have been seriously injured on the courts, on the fields, field hockey players having all of their teeth knocked out due to a puck that was hit by a male opponent.
Wheeler said in addition to safety, this protects fairness.
In this Riley Gaines Act, now 22 states have now passed some sort of bill that protects women's sports, whether it be the Protection of Women and Girls in Sports Act or the Fairness in Women's Sports Act, various names it goes by, but it essentially does the same thing.
Wheeler added her team will keep working until all 50 states pass some sort of legislation like this. I'm Bronson Woodruff.
Forecasters are urging more than 100 million people in the central and eastern U.S. to prepare for several days of potentially dangerous severe weather starting today. More from Jane Menard.
This line is going to be hauling across the Midwest. We are expecting to see the potential for up to 80-mile-an-hour winds. St. Louis through the dinner hour, Chicago by about midnight, and then that line slowly loses some of its oomph as we get into the early morning hours on Saturday.
Meanwhile, heavy snow and high winds in the Great Plains could make travel treacherous in the Dakotas and parts of Minnesota. More news online at afn.net and download the AFN mobile app for your Apple or Android device. I'm Rusty Pugh.
Hey, we're announcing a weekend with AFA on Thursday, October the 2nd through Saturday, October the 4th. We'll have a weekend get-together with AFA leadership and supporters. It's a chance for all of us to get better acquainted.
It's a weekend with AFA, Thursday, October 2nd through Saturday, October 4th in Tupelo, Mississippi. Speakers will include Abraham Hamilton III, Jenna Ellis, Tim Barton, Tim Wildman, and more. Register at afa.net/weekend.
This is Trivia Friday. The number to call with your question or your answer to a question is 888-589-8840.
I'm saying that Abe Lincoln could dunk James Madison.
Okay. That's what you're telling me.
Tell everybody in America, what's the name of that song?
It's a Hokey Pokey.
You're exactly right.
Hokey Pokey.
From Flatwoods, Kentucky. Garbanzo beans.
Hey, good morning, everybody, and welcome to Trivia Friday on American Family Radio. Thanks for listening to AFR on this Friday, March the 14th, 2025. And I'm Tim Wildman with Ed Vitagliano. Good morning, Professor Ed.
Good morning, Dean Wildman.
I like the sound of that.
Yep.
J.J. Jasper, the pride of Owensboro, Kentucky.
Great to be here. Springtime already happening in some of our listener states. Trees are budding, flowers blooming, but that also means allergy season. So here's a promise you can claim. No pollen formed against you shall prosper. Clarendon 3:16.
Yeah, I'm afraid my faith fails me every spring. You will not prevail against
you
me.
You need to stand
and
on
Pollen
that promise.
says, we will see.
You need to stand on that promise.
I
Clarendon
guess so.
3:16.
Right.
Hey, guys, I want to give a shout-out to Cabot, Arkansas. Jerry Lou Wagnon, a widow's luncheon yesterday, and that may have been one of the most wonderful events I've had over the last several years.
Wow.
Jerry Lou, the Lord, she's a widow. The Lord laid it on her heart to start a thing to just love widows and just say you're not forgotten. Come along and support. So they had a free luncheon in Cabot just to say we just want to feed you. The tables were nice, special music, and she invited me to come do stand-up comedy. She said, laughter's good medicine. Just come make us laugh. And she was hoping for 50 people to attend. 120 were there. And I talked to so many AFR listeners, and Jerry Lou Wagnon, what a wonderful ministry the Lord laid on her heart. Moving forward in the palm of God's hand, no agenda, just say, hey, if you want to join this team, let's try to find some widows and try to encourage them and inspire them. So I mentioned, the shirt, they gave me a welcome.
For those
watch.
People who are watching us on the internet right now, and how can they do that, Ed, real quickly, if you don't mind?
There's several ways they can do that. They can go to Facebook or YouTube, search for Today's Issues. On Facebook, I think it's Today's Issues Live. I think I get that mixed up maybe. That's
We're on YouTube.
And then we are on our own streaming platform, stream.afa.net. You can watch not only this program, but other programs live, the video stream.
Yeah, and so in the welcome basket, they gave me a red shirt. Read that, Ed.
Arkansas loves AFA.
Yeah.
Amen.
It's a beautiful shirt.
And I said, I'll wear this for those that are watching during Trivia Friday. But, yeah, shout out to some new friends in Cabot.
Well,
great
ministry
folks
to
there.
widows, the Bible says that is true religion.
I took about 5 or 10 minutes to share a little devotion. Amazing how many times, Moses said, look, when you're picking grapes, picking grain, leave a little on the edges for the widows.
Yeah.
Ruth, wonderful story there. Naomi and Ruth, both widows, there for each other, the loyalty, the love, the support. So, yeah, you see, the widow's mite. It's all through the Bible that God loves and cares for and protects widows.
All right, Trivia Friday it is here on American Family Radio, also known as
Learning University.
I'm going to give the phone number, and we ask you to call in and ask a trivia question or answer one of ours, which we are about to give. Here's the phone number, and you are eligible to call in and be on the air with us today if you're 11 years old or older, and also if you have not been on the air with us in the last 8 weeks. Those are the two stipulations today. If you've not been on the air with us in the last 8 weeks and you're 11 years old or older. Here's the phone number, 888-589-8840.
What is that number again?
I said 888-589-8840. Thanks for asking again.
Yeah,
Ed.
absolutely.
We want to clarify that that's the phone number. So Tim, Ed, and JJ. Also, if you call in and answer one of the questions correctly, it's the mystery question. You will hear this sound.
The beloved cowbell.
And JJ says if you land on it and you answer it correctly, you will win the AFR ball cap.
And it's that time of the year where folks are going to be wearing ball caps.
Really nice ball cap. That's one of the nicest ball caps I've seen. I mean that. The logo, the way it's designed, good quality. If you don't win it, it's a great price. You can get T-shirts, sweatshirts, books, DVDs, a ball cap like this one, a travel mug at our store.
Resources.afa.net, resources.afa.net. And you can take a look at the cap right there on resources.afa.net.
All right. Is that everything? We take care of everything?
I think that's everything.
Let's go, Ed.
All right. Here are my 3 questions. First question. After word spread that Moses had killed the Egyptian, where did Moses flee to? Where did Moses flee to after word spread that he had killed the Egyptian? Second question. Most people have heard of the streaming service HBO. What does the abbreviation stand for? That's not very hard, but what does HBO stand for? And third question, Monday is St. Patrick's Day, but St. Patrick wasn't actually Irish. Is that true or false?
What?
Monday is St. Patrick's Day, but St. Patrick wasn't actually Irish. Is that true or false?
Be very disappointing. If he's not Irish, what a fraud.
Well, I thought about saying that St. Patrick was Italian, but I thought that was a bridge too far.
But he may be. You said, is that true or false?
Yes, it's true. Is it true or false?
St.
Could be Irish.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
St. Patty's Day.
St.
St.
Patty's Day.
St. Patty's Day.
Sure to be got
There you go.
All right, Ed.
Lucky Charms.
Here's what I've got. Starting off with a Bible question. If you're reading the Bible through, we just read Ruth, and beautiful love story there. My question, who was Boaz and Ruth's famous great-grandson? Who is Boaz and Ruth's famous great-grandson? Second question, Holy Land question. Lake Tiberias is more commonly known as what? Lake Tiberias is more commonly known as what? Third question, you chess players, both of you. In chess, which piece can only move diagonally? In chess, which piece can only move diagonally?
And that's only if it gets kinged, right?
Is that right?
Yeah. That's a checker. That's a checker joke.
You're asking the wrong one. I will say, I got a joke for every occasion. So, chess tournament, all these chess masters that had won all these tournaments, they gathered at this hotel for this huge tournament. They're in the lobby, and they're just bragging about all their victories. And finally, the guy at the counter, he just said, out, every one of you out, go, leave immediately. And they're like, what in the world? He said, there's something I can't stand. It's chestnuts boasting in an open foyer. Chestnuts boasting in an open foyer.
Yeah, we got it.
We got
Jack
it.
Frost.
Yeah. All right. So here are my questions. Number one, what has been the best-selling SUV in the United States for several years now, including 2023 and 2024? The best-selling SUV in America. I want to know. All right. Number two. With that, this is a time-limited question. Okay, by that I mean you need to answer this within a 30-second period.
Well, and is it available in Montana? If it's time limited,
yes.
What about that?
Oh, so you're saying if they call in to answer it, they get 30 seconds?
Yep.
Okay.
To answer it. I want to know. I'll give you 30 seconds, and this is for an AFR ball cap.
Oh wow.
Oh.
Okay, so this is
Nice.
a bonus. Without looking it up, that's the key.
Okay.
And within 30 seconds, that's the key. Name all the states that begin with the letter M. Okay?
Okay.
Without looking it up, name all the states that begin with the letter M, and you got 30 seconds to go when you call in. And finally, from the Bible, a two-part question. In what language was most of the Old Testament given, and what language was most of the New Testament given? Got it?
Got it.
Let's go.
All right, we go first to Mississippi, and Aaron is on the line. Aaron, welcome to Trivia Friday.
Let's go. All right, we go.
Hey, Aaron, go ahead and turn your radio down so we don't get the
Send
delay.
Aaron.
Send Aaron. You there, Aaron?
Yes, I'm here. How are you?
Okay, doing well.
Yeah, thank you for calling, Aaron. Where do you live in Mississippi?
I live in Corinth.
Okay.
Yeah, you're
This
still
is
going
my
to.
second time to be on there.
Yes.
Wonderful. You're going to need to turn your radio way down, Aaron, because we're still getting a little bit of that
I got
feedback.
you.
Thanks.
All right, you want to ask, answer, or do both?
We're getting feedback, back. What'd you say?
Sorry, is it better now?
Yeah,
Yes,
better.
sir.
Go,
Okay.
go, Aaron. You want to ask, answer, or both?
I think I'm just going to answer a question. I'm really not prepared to ask a question right now. So
Okay.
But,
Which one do you want to answer? Try to answer.
I'm going to go with probably the easiest question of them all, the HBO question.
All right.
The drama bills.
I didn't realize it was that easy.
I don't know the answer to it.
Most people have
No.
heard of the streaming service HBO. What does the abbreviation stand for, Aaron?
It stands for home box office.
That is correct. Home box office.
We're not.
AJ
and we're
didn't
not
know. He hadn't been
no.
tainted by the world.
No, and we're not clapping for HBO.
No, that's right. We are not approving or disapproving.
Hey, but it's home box office.
Home box office.
You know that goes all the way back to the 70s. I remember when satellite, cable TV came out.
Maybe, yeah. cable. It might have been the first movie channel.
I remember going over to my friend's house to spend the night. This would have been like 77, 78.
Oh, wow.
79, right in there. And the cable TV was out by then, and then you had HBO. I remember that.
Home box office.
Wow, our childhoods were different because we'd go in the living room and sit around the radio and listen to the radio, and then kind of turn.
Then the Grand Ole Opry came on, didn't it?
And then
Saturday night.
Turn the phonograph on. You had a hand crank it, but it was worth it to hear that music coming out of that big flowery speaker.
Well,
All right. Well,
no question for us, huh, Aaron?
That's all right.
You got it right.
So maybe next time.
Hey, you got it right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I was hoping that it would be the mystery question, but chances are the easiest question is not going to be the mystery
Well,
question.
you never know. It's going to be one of the original 9, so it could have gone either way. Hey, Aaron, thank you for listening to AFR. Have a great weekend. Be careful with all that nasty weather coming across the whole center of the U.S. Man, they're saying it's going to be rowdy.
Going to be rowdy. That's a good way of putting it. This
It's going to be
this whole
batting
weekend.
down the hatches.
Really?
Have you ever battened down your hatch, Ed?
I have on occasion.
Yeah, JJ, you batten down your hatches?
Absolutely, yes, sir.
Yeah, I got to find mine. But when I find them, I'm going to batten them down.
Batten them down.
Then I'm going to slap a tariff on them.
That's right. And you just don't. And look, you got to. If Katie.
No, I'm going to take the tariff away.
If Katie,
I'm going to slap it back.
If Katie bars the door, then you got more stuff you have to
if
do.
Katie bars the door?
For battening down the hatch, Katie bar the door. That's right.
You better let Katie in before you batten down the hatch.
That's right.
Otherwise, Katie's going to blow
away. Just be
away.
weather aware. That's what we're trying to say here in front of this green screen.
I just want to say I wish I had known we had President Trump while I was raising my kids.
Right.
Because I would have been slapping tariffs all day long. Back talk with me, 25% tariff. Oh, you don't like that? 50%.
That is a good disciplinary tool.
Oh, yeah.
To have in your
Just
box.
slap tariffs on these
Slap
kids.
tariffs on them.
Yeah.
Trivia Friday on American Family Radio. Tim, Ed, and JJ. And thanks for listening. Back to the phones, Ed.
Well, let's go to Florida, guys. Let's miss some of this
Sunshine
bad weather.
State.
Sam is on the line. Sam, welcome to Trivia Friday.
Good morning, guys. How's it going?
Good.
Going good.
Sam, good to hear that
I like
chipper, good attitude.
Like
yeah.
your spunk there, Sam.
Well, I would like to try the M-State question.
Here we go. 30
Okay,
seconds.
you're on the clock for the ball cap, for the
All right.
FR ball cap. Go.
All right, Maine, Michigan, Missouri, Montana, and Minnesota.
There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8. He missed them. You got some of them. You missed. You didn't get them all. Am I right?
Did I get them all?
Go.
Okay,
Name
do
them
it again.
Name them again. Go.
Michigan, Montana, Missouri, Minnesota. Remember 30 seconds about up, and I can't think of another one. It probably is.
All right. Well, you did good. You know,
you helped other people that call in.
In real class, you'd have failed miserably, but that's okay. You gave it a good shot right off the top of your head there.
Good news and bad news, Sam. I guess it's bad news. Tim got fired as a motivational speaker, but the good news is big effort, good effort there.
But where do you live in Florida, Sam?
I don't live in Florida. I'm driving through Florida right now.
Okay.
I live in Louisiana.
Okay, I got
Good.
you. Well, listen, that was a good try, my friend. But yeah, you missed a couple.
But you helped the next person, so that's important.
That's fine with me.
Do you have a question for us?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
A couple months ago, y'all were really giving a hard one on the prancing pony. So every time I'm going to call this year, I'm going to ask a prancing pony question.
We're ready.
Wait, hold on just a minute. What?
You guys were mocking me.
He had a prancing
because
pony
I had a question about the prancing pony and what famous novel would it have appeared in?
For a grown man to say prancing pony, that was a stretch.
I said it sounds
bristled.
feminine. Sounds feminine to me.
And it was from the trilogy of the Lord of the Rings.
All right.
Of course it was.
All right, Sam, go ahead with your prancing pony question.
Okay, in the prancing pony, Frodo notices a man is watching the four hobbits. He goes to the innkeeper and asks him, "Who's that man in the corner?" What did the innkeeper call the man in the corner?
I remember the innkeeper story, but it ain't got nothing to do with no prancing ponies. One I heard was from the Bible, usually around Christmas time.
All right, Ed, you would be our guy.
Oh,
on
yeah,
this
you're
one.
our guy.
We're looking to you.
Yeah.
I think he called him Strider. It was the name for Aragon.
Yep, that's correct.
How
Ed,
do you guys
I'm
know
gonna give a
all
clap
this
for Ed,
stuff?
because they're
And why?
Well,
Why are you interested?
you know, everybody's got their thing, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, whether you're a sport.
I read The Lord of the Rings when I was in
that's a,
seventh grade and read it several times since then.
So you would
Saw
remember
the
stuff like
movies.
that.
Well,
Yeah.
though,
Got
you
the
also
T-shirt.
you also like Star Wars and a lot of sci-fi stuff.
Sure.
Yeah.
So you can
All right.
relate with that segment of our listeners.
Yeah, I think JJ just called me a nerd, but that's all right. I am a proud nerd.
Thank you, Sam. You know, the Prancing Pony, they got one of those outside Walmart, too. You know, have you ever seen that?
Used to be a quarter.
You got
Big quarters, 50 cents now. I don't even know if you,
Hey.
And then it don't work half the time.
You just
Not that I would know.
You sparked a thought. So Ed said something about being a proud nerd. All the athletes, you know, they got the girls, they were the heroes. Then after they got out of school, the nerds got all the jobs, and the athletes were working for the nerds. You're like, who thought the guy with glasses with tape between his
right
would be
be operating on
he would be your boss. Well, now who would have thought 2025 that the king of the hill would be a person with chickens? Has some chickens in their backyard, and now they're who's the
who's your daddy?
Well,
No.
Who got clobbered in dodgeball? No, the guy that's got chickens in his yard. Bow down.
Right,
I got
right.
a chicken tractor in my yard. Who needs eggs now? Come
All
see
right.
me.
Yeah, Ace. You
Talk
want
to the man.
eggs? $10
Yeah, you want
a
eggs?
dozen.
All
Hey,
right.
was that all that Sam?
Yeah. You're listening to Trivia Friday on American Family Radio, also known as
Learning
University. Learning University is on the air, and we are taking calls from across the country as we go next. Where do we go next, Ed?
Texas. We're going to
We go next to Texas.
And Rick is on the line. Rick, welcome to Trivia Friday.
Hey, good morning, guys. How you doing?
Howdy, Rick.
Yeah, pretty good, Rick. Thanks for
Great.
calling, my friend. Where do you live in Texas?
I live in Pampa, Texas, about an hour east of Amarillo.
Yes, sir. Been there several times.
Pampa, Borger.
Oh, yeah? Well, good.
Yeah, good area.
Yeah.
I went there once for a Valentine banquet, and the guys told the ladies, we want to be in charge of everything, which that made them a little bit nervous.
Sure.
They said, we want to be in charge with the decorating, the program, the menu, cooking, everything. So, and then I was doing stand-up comedy. I get there. On the table, the ladies have everything so nice. I'm not making this up. First of all, the name of it was Darling, This Ain't No Tractor Pull. And on every single table was a starter. There was a generator. There was an alternator on another.
That's very clever.
Yeah. I thought it was real fun the whole night. Yeah. And that was Pampa.
All right, Rick. Ask,
well,
answer.
sorry about the bad.
Ask, answer, or both, Rick. What do you want to do here?
Well, let's go with where did Moses go off?
All right,
The one about Moses.
here's the question,
Moses
Rick.
went off.
After
On
word
who did he go off on?
after word spread that Moses had killed the Egyptian, where did Moses flee to?
The wilderness.
Well, specific. It's got to be a specific part of the wilderness. Yeah. You know the name of it?
Is Yosemite?
Darn, I didn't look it up.
No.
Okay. Yeah. It's.
no.
I'm looking for something specific. This is from the Book of Exodus, and it actually names the place where he went.
Hey, good try, though, Rick. You have a question for us?
Anyway.
Yeah, good
Well,
try.
yeah, sorry about that. Yes, on I-40 going into Albuquerque, New Mexico, you cross through a canyon. What do they call that canyon before you cross through?
Okay, good. That's a good question.
Tim knows
All right.
those
Well,
things.
I'm pretty good with geography, but
And Ed lived there.
Ed lived in New Mexico.
It was Last Chance Gulch. No.
Are you serious?
No,
Oh,
I'm not
that'd be a
serious.
great place for us.
Well,
I
you
just-
snow skied out there. Well, you should know it too, JJ, shouldn't you?
I don't,
yeah,
I
what's
don't
the name of
remember.
that Taos? But I don't remember the canyon.
There's a canyon.
I do remember one time, another quick true story. Tim was in charge of, he was the travel director, Marvin Sanders, yours truly, and Mitchell Toll, the artist. Tim had us go to Wichita, Kansas.
I booked the travel for y'all.
You booked the travel, and I'm not making this up, folks. Tim went to the map that we have in the hallway.
Yeah, I did.
Huge map. And he put his fingers apart this far.
Yeah.
And he said, okay, that's not too far to go to Wichita, Kansas, New Mexico, and Texas, down in Texas. And while we were driving across Texas, and I mean driving and driving and driving, it looked like we were in on the moon, and there's this little bronze marker. We passed it, and I just said, I started to turn around. They said, what in the world? There's nothing out here. See, I saw that marker. I said, I got to see, what could they possibly say, who was born here or whatever. I went back, and it said, you are in no man's land.
Literally?
I think that was Panhandle. Wasn't that Panhandle of Oklahoma?
Yeah, it may have been. Yeah, it was the Panhandle.
Yeah.
So, but what it was, they said everybody that surveyed, they just left a little wiggle room, like when you build a fence between you and your neighbor, and they left a little bit of margin, and it created the Panhandle. And there was no real jurisdiction, so just bank robbers and things fled there. But it said, you are in no man's land. We didn't need a marker to know that. And Tim spread us out for about 3 days of driving and driving.
That was before Google Maps. And I was just sort of, guessing off the map there.
Hey, we don't know the answer, Rick. You're going to have to tell us.
Y'all don't know. It's Tejeda Canyon.
Tejeda?
Tejeda Canyon, which translated is scissors.
Scissors?
Yeah, tijeras are scissors.
Like in rock, paper?
Like rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah,
that's
what
great.
I thought.
Hey, thanks, Rick.
Thank you, Rick. You ever played rock?
Oh, sure.
Been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Let's play it right now.
All right, ready?
Okay.
My wife.
Wait,
one.
Wait, on three.
All right.
1, 2, 3.
Oh, I thought I was going to go
I
one
got
more.
scissors.
I got paper.
Rock.
I cut you.
Yeah.
I covered.
What you got? You smashed my scissors?
Rock. I smashed your scissors, but he covered my rock.
So we're all winners.
That's it.
That's America today, isn't it? We'll be back momentarily. Stay with us.
It's my turn.
Here is your host for My Turn, Don Wildman.
In the book of Hebrews, there's a verse that reads like this: "And let us run with perseverance the race that is set before us." There's a story told about a certain little boy who wanted a watch. Day in and day out, he pestered his parents about getting him a watch. His parents put him off every way they could. Finally, he drove his parents to the breaking point. His father told the youngster that he didn't want to hear another word about a watch. Well, for the rest of the week, the lad said nothing about a watch. He knew that to do so would certainly bring some uncomfort to his sitting down place. However, Sunday soon rolled around, and the family was gathered together for a period of devotion. It was the custom in the family for each member to learn a new verse of Scripture and to recite it each Sunday during devotions. Every other member of the family had said their Scripture verse when it came time for the small lad to quote his. Looking up with a very solemn face, he quoted his verse perfectly. "What I say unto you, I say unto all, watch." Well, I'm not certain if he got his watch or the other thing, but one thing I can say for him, he was persistent. And that's a quality all of us could use, persistence. For one of our faults today is that we give up too soon, call it quits after a single setback, let failure break us instead of make us. You know, there's very little a person cannot do in this life if he sets out to do it and stays with it. One reason we don't accomplish more is that we're quick quitters. We get a setback or two and then we say it can't be done. We give up. We quit trying. But history is full of things that couldn't be done, and that means it's also full of people who did them. The world looks up in admiration to a person who has staying power. He doesn't have to have great brains or great riches or vast opportunities. But if he believes in something and has the persistence to stay with that belief, regardless of the praise or scorn he receives, the world ultimately will look up to him. One reason there aren't any more people with persistence than there are is the simple reason that it takes a big person to try again. or to stick out the ship when the waves get high. Anyone can quit. Anyone can get into a lifeboat and float to safety. But the person with persistence is hunting neither safety nor another mission. He has something he wants to do, and he believes he can do it. So he stays with it, come what may. Then one day he finally accomplishes the impossible. Great and good goals aren't easy to accomplish. They require great and good people to accomplish them. And great and good people are people who keep on keeping on. I believe God wants a person who says, I can. I believe God wants a person who will try again. All things are possible, he said. He's waiting to see if you believe him. If you do, try again.
This has been My Turn with Don Wildman, a production of the American Family Association.
For we know that if the earthly tent we live in is destroyed, we have a building from God, an eternal house in heaven, not built by human hands. 2 Corinthians 5:1.
American Family Radio.
All right, so Brett Creeley, our producer, said in honor of Rosie O'Donnell moving to Ireland, since she was the star of the Flintstones movie, that we should play that theme, and I agree. And we all miss Rosie, and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Maybe she'll come back one day.
She's a cultural icon. What an impact she's had on generations.
Art, science, NASA. There's so many things that Rosie O'Donnell touched that we'll one day appreciate it more than we do now while she's over there, pub hopping. Pub hopping. And can you say that 3 times? Is that dangerous?
I'm not sure I can say it once.
I don't know if you want to on Christian Radio Live.
Hey, guys, I don't want to get us back to a serious note.
Yeah, do that, AJ.
Why?
Want to say happy birthday to my daughter, Sadie Morgan.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Sadie Morgan.
She was born 24 years ago today. Beautiful, smart, incredible artist.
Very talented.
Married to Jordan, and hard to believe. Let me throw this out there. One of the most wonderful things about your children is watching them grow up, and one of the most difficult things about your children is watching them grow up.
Amen.
But she's all grown up, married, and got 2 kids of her own, little boy and a little girl.
And probably listening to this show.
She just may be. Yeah, she does. They listen.
All right, it's Trivia Friday here on American Family Radio. Tim, Ed, and JJ, you're listening to American Family Radio Trivia Friday. We're here every Friday from 10:05 to 11:30 Central Time, just having some fun and doing some serious learning.
Oh, yeah.
Education flows.
It
these
flows.
airways.
Absolutely.
And so what we're going to do now is reset our questions that have
heretofore
gone unanswered, and then we will go back to the phones. And it's you're eligible to call in today if you're 11 years old or older and you haven't been on the air with us in the last 8 weeks. If you fit into that category, then first-time callers are welcome to. You call in and be on the air with us. Go ahead, Ed.
All right, here are my 3 questions. I'll have to add one. After word spread that Moses had killed the Egyptian, where did Moses flee to? Folks, I know it should be to where did Moses flee, but we're kind of informal today.
Yeah.
Second question, Monday is St. Patrick's Day, but St. Patrick wasn't actually Irish. Is that true or false? And
love it. I love it.
That was pretty good
that
right
wasn't
there.
Bad. Wasn't bad.
No, that was good.
I had some Lucky Charms this morning. So, and then I'm going to add a question. This one's the first one I had that's been answered was pretty easy. This one, folks, you're going to have to look this up unless you're a geography whiz. What is the name of the sea between Italy and Greece? What is the name of the sea between Italy and Greece?
Here's what I've got. First question from the Bible. Ruth, what a wonderful story. And you know how God provided and she married Boaz. Here's my question. Who is Boaz and Ruth's famous great-grandson? Who is Boaz and Ruth's famous great-grandson? Second question, Holy Land question. Lake Tiberias is more commonly known as what? Lake Tiberias is more commonly known as what? And then for you chess players, in chess, which piece can only move diagonally? In chess, which piece can only move diagonally? I picture you as a chess player back in the day.
I did play chess. I'm not very good at it.
You have to think about five moves ahead. You
and
have
that was
to be
my
a
problem.
Deep thinker.
I'd be playing chess and I'd be thinking ahead, all right, but I'd be thinking when they bringing the pizza out.
Yeah, that's,
Right.
Yeah.
So that's like when
you got to have more. You got to have more
your chess
focus
game.
than that.
Yeah.
You know.
That's like whenever I was a tennis player. At one point, I was a really, really good tennis player, and then I figured out what the lines were for. Boy, that'll mess your game
affect
up.
your game.
Yes, it will.
Man, you're talking about discouraging.
Here are my three questions. Number one, what has been the best-selling SUV in the United States for the last several years, including 2023 and 2024? The best-selling SUV in America. Number two, answer this question in 30 seconds, and if you don't look it up, then I'll send you an AFR ball cap if you can answer it correctly. What are the states? Name all the states that begin with the letter M. And you got 30 seconds to do it, and don't look it up prior to answering. Just do it off the top of your head, and then you can win the ball cap.
I had no idea there were so many. I thought there were three. Knee jerk. I said, okay, there's three. And then the fellow that tried, and he kept going and going. I wonder now, is that and this might be a good trivia question, are more states in the country named with an M? Is that the leading letter? You know what am I trying to say? Is M?
Yeah.
Is M a state
The
name
most common-
Is that the most common first letter of the state? Because that's a crazy amount.
And don't forget, folks, Canada starts with a C, so you can't count
You
that
can't
state.
count that.
No, not yet.
Not yet, yeah.
Not yet.
So
All right, my third question, it's a two-part question. In what language was most of the Old Testament given, and in what language was most of the New Testament given? I want to know that makes sense?
Yes.
Let's go.
All right, let's go back to Texas, boys, and Tim is on the line. Tim, welcome to Trivia Friday.
Hello, man. How's it going?
Pretty good. Thank you for calling, Tim.
Howdy, Tim.
Where do you live? Where do you live in Texas?
Mount Com, Texas, population 282.
Salute.
Where is that? If we're looking at the great state of Texas.
Well, if I told you I was about 12 miles east of West, that would confuse you. So
No, we remember West from that tragedy a few years back that was in the news so much.
The feed mill exploding.
Right.
But it's actually about 20 miles northeast of Waco on Highway 31.
We know right where you are, Waco, Temple, and just take a right.
That's near the Jeff Bezos River, isn't it?
Jeff
Bezos.
There's no rivers close to here. I know of.
Oh, okay. I thought the
Bezos goes through Waco.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Jeff
right,
just
the Bezos.
recently added his name after that, making that contribution, giving that donation.
I thought they named that river after Jeff Bezos.
Yeah. Hey, ask, answer, or do both.
I'll do both.
Which one you feel confident about, Tim?
I think I want to do a Tim question.
All right, Tim. Good.
Couple
Which
of
one
Tim.
you want to do?
I think the state question.
All right,
here we go.
All right,
right,
Ed,
I'm gonna
set the clock.
timer.
All right.
You hadn't looked this up prior to, right?
No, I'm just sitting there jotting them down with the other guy help me a little bit.
Yeah.
You can have a life.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, go.
Michigan, Maine, Mississippi, Maryland, Missouri, Montana, Minnesota, and I'm not sure about this one, New Mexico.
New
That's
Mexico.
an N, but
No, that would New Mexico doesn't qualify. So did he say that state or not? Do it again. Go.
We'll
ahead.
start
Go
your
ahead.
clock
We're gonna
over
start
again.
you over.
Go ahead, real quick.
But we got to check these off.
I got to check them off. Go.
All right, go.
Michigan, Maine, Mississippi, Maryland, Missouri, Montana, and Minnesota.
Did he
Okay.
miss one?
You got. Yeah.
You just missed one. Is
Yeah,
all, Tim.
you missed one.
So how do you say that so
I
close?
I can't even think of another one.
Ed, how do you do it? That you missed it by
that much.
Good try, though. That was a very Maxwell Smart. Starts with an M.
Yeah,
by the way.
Maxwell does.
Hey, that was a good try. Really good try, because there's a lot of them.
Well, you gave somebody else a real good chance.
Yeah,
You know, if they were listening quick, you had to listen quick. He was rattling them off.
I know it.
Tim was having a hard time marking them off.
Yeah, I was 2 steps behind.
Tim, what's your question for us?
Oh, I wanted to tell Tim that happy belated birthday.
Well, thank you, brother. March 6th.
I got an older brother and a younger sister that was both born on March 6th.
Okay.
all right.
Wow.
Oh, okay. Well, I mention this every year, but I have 3 siblings, and 3 of the 4 of us have March 6th.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
You guys almost made it into the
No
Guinness Book World
twins.
Records. Right.
Nobody adopted, anything like that. It's just straight up
Right.
3
out of 4.
3 natural births. Yeah. Well, my parents, they weren't big on birthday parties, spending a lot of money, so they wanted to combine them.
Yeah.
So they had 3 of the 4 children,
Makes
so they could
sense.
just rent the skating rink out. My little brother, bless his heart, he wasn't but a year old, and he couldn't skate, but that was his birthday party, you know.
Sure. You had to
Only
lump
had
them
one
all
other little
together.
kid come,
Right.
I was 9. I could skate, you know what I'm
Right.
saying?
So
It
you
was-
benefited.
But
Yeah,
times
go
were lean.
skating.
Times were lean.
Skating,
They
going
were.
to the skating rink and skating to SATURDAY.
The Bay City Rollers.
Bay City Rollers. All right, so Tim, you didn't actually have a question
Tim.
for us, right?
Yes.
Oh, you do?
I do
Okay.
have a question.
All right, go ahead.
So going back a few months ago when Jimmy Carter was still living, there were 6 living presidents.
Mm-hmm.
How many times in history has that happened? And who was president the first time it happened?
6? You say 6
Six
living?
When you say how many times in history has it happened, you mean like
Yes.
in a month, in a year? I mean, how much of an overlap?
Just over a course of the presidency, at times there were 6 living presidents.
That's remarkable.
And then one would die and there wouldn't be, or not.
Right.
And so it's happened this many
Wow.
times in history.
I'm going to just guess and say it's happened 3 times. Just throwing a guess out there.
Yeah.
JJ's pretty good at guessing. I'll go with.
Well,
I'll
not
go
on presidents, because presidents and old cars, I don't know if Oldsmobile was a president or a vehicle. They just sort of all run together.
Blend together? Oh, wait.
Go,
I'll go with 3. I mean, I have no idea.
Yeah. I'll give in. 3.
Give in to peer pressure. What's the answer?
It's been 5 times.
5 times there were
what?
6.
That's
There was
remarkable.
6 living presidents.
Well,
And can you name the first time it happened? Who was president?
Oh yeah, of course I can.
That would be.
All you got to do is go up 5. Who is the 5th president or 6th? And then because if George Washington and the others were still living, that first go round.
Yeah. I don't know. We can be here a while.
Yeah, just go.
You
go ahead
better
and
tell us,
Tell us
Tim.
the answer, Tim.
It was Abraham Lincoln.
Number
was the
16.
first time?
Was
That
he
was
the
the first
16th
time it
president?
happened. There were living when he was elected president, there were 6 living presidents.
Wow. You know, that's amazing considering the life expectancy then would have probably been in the 40s or something.
Right.
Maybe 50s. And to have that many elected, presidents
Right.
alive at the time. So.
That's something.
All right. Thank you, Tim.
Thanks, buddy.
Appreciate
Have a
it.
great
That's
weekend.
a great trivia question.
I think Texas is one of just the edge of East Texas, and that weather that we're talking about, man, it just goes right up the center of the United States. They're talking about some nasty, nasty weather. So pray and be weather aware.
Yeah. Batten down your hatches.
Oh,
batten down your hatches
should be your first step. First step, batten down the hatches. Then go get the bread and milk.
Yeah. Oh,
You
I
mean after
mentioned
you
that
batten
this
down the
morning
hatches?
on the on my radio show this morning. I said, look, pray, be, know where your safe place is, but the main thing is to go get you a gallon of milk, get a loaf of bread, because then if it's a tornado, cyclone, if a volcano erupts, no matter how deep the lava is flowing, if you're standing there with a gallon of milk in one hand and a loaf of bread in the other, you're the winner.
You're ahead of the game.
Yeah, you're ready. You're prepared.
All right, let's go to North Carolina.
North Carolina.
Jody is on the line. Jody, welcome to Trivia Friday.
Well, welcome, esteemed professors. And heretofore, I've only been on once before in 10 years.
Wow.
So
Jody.
Again.
She's
Heretofore.
rocking the heretofore.
That was nice, Jody.
Esteemed professors.
Nice touch.
You got it all going on.
Yep. And I'm calling from North Carolina, but my first name is not Mark from Seagrove. I want to know how he gets on all the time. 10 years I've been on 2 times. What's the algorithm there?
Well, that's good. Well, he, quite frankly, we wondered that ourselves. Our call screener, Cindy here, I think he sends her gift cards.
Well, they're both part of an NGO, so that should tell you everything you need to know.
I think he sends her gift cards and gets at the front of the line. I think that's how it's just good old-fashioned payoff.
I love it. I just had to get that one in there, though. I'm
old-fashioned,
so sorry.
what is it, grift, what do they call it? Kickback?
All right, Jody, ask,
And
answer.
by the
both.
way, it's Todd from Seagrove.
Todd. Todd.
Todd.
Yeah.
Well, I wanted him to remain anonymous. But now
there you go.
Ed wanted to go ahead and get him out there. All right, ask, answer, or both, Jody.
All right, so I'm going to answer and I'm going to ask.
Okay. Which one do you want to answer?
So, I know that a lot of the people have almost come to answer all of the M states.
Here we go.
But I already had them down. So, and being from one of the greatest states with the letter M, Minnesota.
There you go.
There we go. I'm a redhead with blonde hair, and I'm not Irish. So there you go.
Okay.
Here we go.
So you're going to give this a shot,
All
right?
30 seconds?
Yes, I am.
On your mark, get set, go.
Minnesota, Michigan, Montana, Maine, Maryland, Missouri, Mississippi, and Massachusetts.
She didn't say.
Yeah, she did.
She did?
Sure did. Yeah.
Okay. I guess you got it right.
I think she got him.
Clap.
Yeah,
Clap.
nice. Nicely
Well,
done.
you know you got it right. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me.
Did the other fellow leave off Massachusetts? Yeah.
The last caller left off Massachusetts.
And the one before that left off about 3.
So, again, it's Maine, Maryland, Massachusetts, Michigan. That's 4. Minnesota, 5. Mississippi, 6. Missouri, 7. And Montana, 8.
8 states? So I'll bet you that. I'm going to look that up for a future trivia.
Yeah. Way to go, Jody.
Nicely done. I'm going to clap again, Jody.
So you grew up in Minnesota?
She gets a hat for that.
Yeah, you get a ball cap. So don't hang up. We're going to get your address, so we'll send you this ball cap.
All right. Awesome. My husband is out in the barn in the back of our house.
Yeah.
We live on 7 acres out in the woods, and he's got his radio on, and he's out there whooping and hollering.
Well,
wonderful.
But wait a
hey,
second.
Jody,
this
what's
is not
your
a barn cap?
Jody,
It's a ball cap.
what's your husband's name? First name?
Aaron.
Well, you and Aaron, thank you for listening to AFR. You're going to love this cap, and you might want to share it with Aaron because it's a good-looking ball cap.
Well, I tell you what, I will share it with him because he's a ball cap wearer.
Yeah.
But I just want to let you know, too, I just had lunch with a Christian friend of mine yesterday, and she was talking about, how bad TV and everything, and I just told her all about American Family Radio and about how I look forward every Friday and Trivia Friday, and I was so excited I probably could have got a commission for some of you guys.
For sure.
Hey, I want to jump in here and piggyback on what Jody said. I was in Cabot, Arkansas yesterday, and there were about 30, 40 people in line at the book table, and I heard story after story. I'm encouraged. I'm inspired. We love the news and information. Handful that said how much they enjoyed Trivia Friday. So you listening, word of mouth really, really is a powerful way to tell your neighbors, church members, coworkers, family, and friends about how much you can glean from listening to AFR. Jody, thank you so much for that.
Hey, now, Jody.
You're welcome.
Did you say
she asked a question for us?
You said that your
I
husband.
do.
You said that your husband is the ball cap wearer, so you don't wear ball caps generally.
Well, yes, I do when I'm out, with the dogs, on the tractor out on our property. I do.
Well, I'll tell you what we're going to do.
Here we go.
We're going to send you 2 caps so that you and your husband can be out in the yard and doing stuff together.
There you go.
And be lookalikes.
There you go.
All right?
Well, we might even wear them
Twinkies.
together. He goes to a men's breakfast. He'll wear his. I know he will.
Oh, that's great.
So make sure when we're done with you on the radio that you don't hang up. We'll put you on hold, and Cindy will get your information. We'll get those out to you. What's your question for us?
Yes, sir. All right. So, what it's a Bible question. What was the name of the impressive altar built in Canaan on the borders of Jordan?
The impressive altar.
That's the one, something, a wall of remembrance, something like that, when they took the stones out of the center of the 12 stones and built it, and then they actually plastered it and wrote.
Are you looking for a name?
Yes, the name of it.
I think it was like the wall of remembrance or something.
Okay, I'm going to that's one guess. We may have different guesses. I'm going to say it's Ed. The King James Version has the name Ed.
Ed Liano, yes.
What is it?
Yes.
Ed.
Is it
Ed?
It's called Ed, and it says, and this is here for a witness between the Lord and his people.
It's called Ed.
And it's called Ed in the King James Version.
Is that right, Jody?
It was built by the children of Reuben, Gad, and the half tribe of Manasseh, but it was misinterpreted so that the whole host of Israel were ready to come and annihilate them.
Yes, that was on their way
when
back.
They realized
Yeah.
Yep. Exactly. Yep.
The first one is when they came out, took the stones, and they built it on the edge. They went over and they got their inheritance of land. And when they were coming back, when they right before they crossed over the Jordan, when they crossed over, they built the one she's talking about, and they said they thought they were going to worship to in a different place instead of the temple. So they got their swords to come down there, like she said, and they said, no, we just want future generations to say, oh, that you're on the other side of the Jordan, we're on this side, so we're just like redheaded stepkids. We're not part of them. And they said all that was as a reminder. Great Bible question, Jody.
Hey, Jody, stay on the line. We're going to put you on hold. Great question. Great attitude. We like that. Thank you for spreading word of American Family Radio to your friends. Word of mouth, folks, for those of you listening, is really important to us for getting additional listeners.
Trivia Friday it is on American Family Radio. We also call this Learning University.
And redheaded stepchild's not in the Bible, not in any of the older translations.
Right.
All right, repeat our questions, guys.
Okay. First question. After word spread that Moses had killed the Egyptian, where did Moses flee to? Is a specific name of a part of the wilderness in the book of Exodus. Second question. Monday is St. Patrick's Day, but St. Patrick wasn't actually Irish. Is that true or false? And then you may have to look this one up. What is the name of the sea between Italy and Greece? What is the name of the sea between Italy and Greece?
Here's what I've got from the book of Ruth. Boaz and Ruth, who is their famous great-grandson? Boaz and Ruth, who is their very, very famous great-grandson in the Bible? Second question, Holy Land question. Lake Tiberias is more commonly known as what? Lake Tiberias. You probably know it by a different name. Third question in chess, which piece can only move diagonally?
All right, my two questions. Number one is, for several years now, the top-selling SUV in America is what, or has been what? The top-selling SUV in our country from many years now is what? Number two question, two-part question. What language was most of the Old Testament given, and what language was most of the New Testament given? So, Old Testament, New Testament, what languages were they written in? I want to know the answer to that. Back to the phones.
All right. We go back to Mississippi, and Randy is on the line. Randy, welcome to Trivia Friday.
Hey, how are y'all doing today?
I'm doing good.
Hello?
Randy, are you?
Hey, this is our state rep.
Yeah.
And you're the one who got
guys coming back. Oh, go ahead.
No, you're the one who got the state tag "In God We Trust," right, for our state.
That's correct. That's correct.
Mississippi Representative Randy Boyd, a lawmaker and a devout Christian. He's one of the good guys.
Amen. Well, hey, Randy, welcome to Trivia Friday, sir.
Hey, I've been trying to get on for a long time. I listen to you guys, especially when I'm coming back from Jackson. So that's what I'm doing this morning, headed back to Tupelo.
Well, welcome coming back this way. You want to ask, answer, or do both?
Let's do both.
All right, which one you want to try to answer?
Let's take the one about Moses.
All right, here is the question. After word spread that Moses had killed the Egyptian, where did Moses flee to?
He fled to Midian on the backside of the desert.
That is correct.
There we go.
And that is our mystery question.
Wow. Randy, I tell you just stop on by the office here and pick up your hat. You want a ball cap? We don't even have to mail it to you.
Well, two things can happen right there. Here's a deal. We can save some postage, and then it don't have to go through Memphis, which is the Bermuda Triangle of mail. You may or may not get it if it goes through Memphis. That's just a truth right there.
Bermuda Triangle.
Yeah.
The Bermuda Triangle of
Might be
mail.
6 weeks late.
It may be time for harvest season before you get it, if you're going to wear it out in the field. Hey, congratulations.
Yes.
That was our mystery question.
Nicely done. Thanks for being in the Word and allowing the Word to be in you.
You got a question for us,
Yeah.
Randy?
Well, it's one, I hope you guys know it, but you may not. I'm a forester and a land surveyor, so I think about trees all the time. Mississippi has the magnolia tree as its state tree. What's the state tree of Alabama?
State tree of Alabama. By the way, I like happy trees.
Yeah,
myself.
I'll take that answer. If y'all want me to answer, take one for the team. State tree of Alabama is kudzu. Everybody knows that. It'll grow up a tree, take over a barn, take over the old home place. If you go somewhere for the weekend, come back, you may or may not be able to find your house.
Kudzu. I'm the state tree of Alabama.
I'm going to say pine because you got a lot of pine. I know you have the pine belt in Mississippi, but I'm going to go with pine.
I'll go up. Pine's fine with me.
Just
I don't know.
Yes, boys.
What do you
Well,
think?
you got half of it.
Loblolly
it's
pine.
Longleaf pine. Longleaf pine.
Longleaf pine.
So you got pine, though.
Yeah,
And really, all pine trees are the same, aren't they, Randy?
Well, they're from the same genus and species. So.
That's
right. I was just teasing you because people who take an interest in things like that, there's very particular facts that have to be observed.
Yep.
So,
yeah,
that's right.
All right, Randy. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate it. Good to hear from you. And we do have a ball cap for you there.
Thanks, buddy.
Hey, I was glad to hear that y'all got the needed number of tags. I talked to somebody the other day.
Yes, sir. Thanks again for your hard work.
All right, we'll be back momentarily with more of Trivia Friday on American Family Radio.
The views and opinions expressed in this broadcast may not necessarily reflect those of the American Family Association or American Family Radio.
Faith, family, freedom. American Family Radio. The enemy has pulled out all the stops to try to destroy the family for a very long time. That's why the American Family Association stands boldly in the gap to protect and strengthen this God-breathed institution. Visit afa.net today and discover the resources available for you and your family. And if you would, please take a minute to show your support. That's afa.net.
This is American Family Radio, a listener-supported ministry of the American Family Association.
American Family News, I'm Rusty Pugh. More than 50 universities are being investigated for alleged racial discrimination as part of President Donald Trump's campaign to end diversity, equity, and inclusion programs that his officials say exclude white and Asian American students. The Education Department announced the new investigations today, 1 month after issuing a memo warning America's schools and colleges that they could lose federal money over race-based preferences in admissions, scholarships, or any aspect of student life. The U.S. continuing to hold discussions with Russian officials about a potential ceasefire in the invasion of Ukraine. Brian Yennis reporting from Charlevoix in Quebec.
U.S. negotiators last night had talks in Moscow with Putin yesterday. Now, Putin says that he agrees in principle with the ceasefire, but there are a lot of details that still need to be worked out. Now, back here at the G7, Reuters is reporting that the foreign ministers here have come to an agreement on the final joint communique. And notably, in that statement, there is no mention specifically of the word security guarantees for Ukraine. Rather, they do warn Russia that if they do not get on board with the ceasefire, they will face more sanctions, including on their oil.
Federal judges ordering the Trump administration to rehire thousands of workers fired as part of the president's plan to reduce the federal workforce. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt vowing to fight the ruling.
All of these individuals need to be rehired, just usurping the executive authority of President Trump to fire federal workers. This cannot be allowed to happen. This ruling was unconstitutional. The White House and the Trump administration are prepared to fight back.
Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer announcing Thursday he will vote in favor of House Republicans' funding bill as the threat of a government shutdown looms over Capitol Hill. Senator Schumer says he believes shutting down the government would only give President Trump more power. Senate Majority Leader John Thune says he believes the minority leader is admitting the issues the chamber now faces are the fault of the Democrats.
We are cleaning up the mess that Chuck Schumer and the Democrats and Joe Biden left us and funding last year's appropriations bills. This is the cleanest, best way to do it. The Democrats should get on board with it.
The Trump administration is starting to weed DEI out of the federal government, but it can't happen fast enough. Steve Jordahl reports an incident from 2015 has just gone viral, and it has to do with your safety when you fly.
Recruiter Shelton Snow of the National Black Coalition of Federal Aviation Employees was caught on a call with candidates for some open air traffic control slots.
There are some valuable pieces of information that I have taken a screenshot of, and I'm going to send that to you via email. Keep in mind, we are trying to maximize your opportunities.
Snow also wrote a letter to minority recruits telling them how to get their resumes to the top of the pile by using keywords HR was going to look out for.
I'm about 99.99% sure that it's exactly how you need to answer each question in order to get through the first phase.
Washington Times columnist Robert Knight says it's one thing if the National Florist Union wants to push minority flower arrangers to the top of the pile, but air traffic controllers?
This isn't merely an inconvenience or even an injustice. This is a threat to public safety.
He says any profession that makes life and death decisions has to keep DEI as far away as possible.
Merit should be the only criterion that is considered when you're placing air traffic controllers or pilots or brain surgeons or anyone in a position that can involve a life or death situation.
I'm Steve Jordahl.
The Department of Justice taking legal action against sanctuary cities, resisting the Trump administration's crackdown on illegal aliens. Attorney General Pam Bondi.
We're suing them. We're suing the states. They will no longer be sanctuary cities. We will come in there. We will arrest you. We will prosecute you. We will deport you. If you've committed a crime, you will go to prison in our country for as long as possible. If you're an illegal alien, we will deport you. It's that simple.
U.S. stocks are bouncing back today, but not by enough to keep Wall Street from heading toward a fourth straight losing week. More news online at afn.net and download the AFN mobile app. I'm Rusty Pugh.
The feature-length documentary Culture Warrior, Don Wildman and the Battle for Decency, premiering November 11th, chronicles the life and ministry of Don Wildman. It takes you through the founding of the National Federation for Decency, what has become AFA. It's a call to stand firm for righteousness and shows how that resolve can make a huge difference in our world.
If we lose this cultural war, we're going to have a hedonistic, humanistic society.
Find out more and watch the trailer at culturewarrior.movie.
This is Trivia Friday. The number to call with your question or your answer to a question is 888-589-8840. Now, back to more Trivia Friday.
Hey, welcome back, everybody, to Trivia Friday on American Family Radio. I'm Tim Wildman with Ed Vitagliano and JJ Jasper, and we thank you for listening to Trivia Friday. We're here every week just doing some education and learning, and we call this Learning University, and We are going to go back to the phones now. Ed, who's up next?
Well, we're going to West Virginia, and Douglas is on the line. Douglas, welcome to Trivia Friday.
Well, good morning, professors, and praise the Lord, and may grace and peace be with you all.
Thank you.
Amen, brother. Same to you,
Amen.
Douglas.
I've been on here before. It's been last fall. I answered a question on what was another name for house of bread, and then after you all answered my question, I don't know, I got cut off. I didn't get my hat.
Oh, you didn't get your hat?
Oh.
No, sir, that's fine. I mean,
we sent it
here,
to
praise the Lord.
No, we sent it to Memphis.
Went through Memphis.
It never did.
Well,
right there at the Bermuda Triangle, the USP.
The U.S. mail has their issues, just like everybody else.
USPC.
We're just kidding.
I'm not.
Well,
Memphis
It's
is
70 degrees here. All the snow's gone, and I would like
Amen.
to have a cap because I don't want to get sunburned.
We'll send it.
We'll send
All right,
Yes, sir.
Cindy,
Sorry about sorry about you getting cut off.
Yeah, so Douglas is going to get a ball cap. So get his address.
Well, yeah, when we get
through the phone call.
So don't hang up, Douglas. We'll make sure Cindy gets your information, and we'll try it again.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
But
All right.
You're a man of honor.
Well, thank you. Appreciate that. Hey, you want to answer, or do both, Douglas?
I think I'm going to do both since it's such a beautiful day.
All right.
Okay.
Bring it.
Which one you want to answer?
I'll do the chess game.
All right, sir. Here's the question. In chess, which piece can only move diagonally?
That would be the bishop.
The bishop. So I guess you're a chess player.
Yes, sir. I'm up to 1.5 billion points playing chess on my new phone. It took me about a year to get to that amount on my account. I'm just wishing I could cash it in and donate the proceeds to AFA.
Well, is this quasi gambling stuff you got going on here?
Well, actually, I'm betting like 300,000 points. And I'm playing some pretty good chess players around the world, but I've actually lost. But
it's online chess playing.
Yeah, well, that's interesting. Hey, Douglas, what's your question for us?
Okay, gentlemen, this has to do with our country. How many presidents have not received an income, and what are their names?
Like an income from the office, from the job, you mean?
Yes, sir. They did not receive a paycheck. They donated it to charity. What four presidents? How many presidents were they, and what are their names?
Well, of course, Donald Trump.
Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Is
I didn't know there was more than that.
I didn't either.
Well, let's see.
President Westinghouse. That was one.
Westinghouse?
Yeah, and I'm trying to think of some of those others.
That didn't receive a salary.
Maybe George Washington. I'm just guessing at this point.
Right. Some of the earlier presidents, they got paid in okra. They would just leave the back door of their car unlocked, and they put an okra in there,
Put
big
some okra in there.
stacks of it. We don't know. We know one is President Trump. What's the rest of them, Douglas?
There's four. George Washington was the first, Woodrow Wilson was the second, JFK was the third, and Donald Trump was the fourth.
Wow.
I didn't know that.
That was very generous.
I thought it was Trump and Trump alone.
Right.
But
there's a song, your song lyrics, Trump and Trump
alone.
And they can sing that when they get
JFK.
his head carved in there on Mount Rushmore. Hey.
All right, Douglas, I'm
Douglas.
going to put you on hold, and Cindy will get your information. We will certainly try to get you that hat.
And I think I need to put a little disclaimer. My local post office people, the rural post people, the people in our little town, great job. But I'm only half kidding about when things go to Memphis that they may or may not go through there smoothly. That is a debacle there. The post office.
Yeah.
The local ones, I know a lot of the carriers, and they're really nice and do a great job.
Yeah. Well, we sent a Christmas card or New Year's card, and it came back like 3 months later.
They sent it back to you?
Yeah, well, it was supposed to go to. That's happened numerous times, and you just wonder what bin is it sitting in.
Yeah, 3 months.
How does it sit on there for 3 months? Well, one of them was a year.
Yeah, our daughter, they got an invitation that they sent out 3 years ago, and it just showed up, and it wasn't ripped. It didn't have things stamped, like couldn't go to sender. You know, it just showed back up.
Yeah, it's like magic. It's kind of like that, dark magic. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh my! Oh my! Hey, listen, where do we go next?
All right, go to Kentucky. How about that? And Jacob is on the line. Jacob, welcome to Trivia Friday.
How are you, esteemed professors?
Hey, good, Jacob. Where do you live in Kentucky?
I'm in West Kentucky.
Yes, sir.
It's J.J. Jasper's old
Yeah,
stomping ground there.
Are you near
Double
Paducah?
J knows where I live around here.
Where are you, Jacob?
I'm in Hickory, Kentucky.
Okay, I'm from Owensboro. You ever been up there to have any of that barbecue?
Well, I haven't had their barbecue, but I know where Owensboro is.
Okay. Hey, you want to ask, answer, or do both?
I'll try to answer, but you may have to run through some of your questions because I've been trying to get in. For
All right,
a little while.
we'll repeat them real quick, and
Yeah.
For the last time today. Go ahead.
All right, here I only have two remaining. Monday is St. Patrick's Day, but St. Patrick wasn't actually Irish. Is that true or false? And then my second question, what is the name of the sea between Italy and Greece?
I've got a question from the book of Ruth. Ruth married Boaz.
Mm-hmm.
Who was Boaz and Ruth's famous great-grandson? Second question.
Wasn't Elvis.
Wasn't Elvis.
No.
Second question, Holy Land question. Lake Tiberias is known by another name. Lake Tiberias is more commonly known as what?
All right, my two questions. Number one is the best-selling SUV in the United States for the last several years has been what automobile? Number two, two-part question. In what language was most of the Old Testament given? And in what language was most of the New Testament given? I want to know the answer to that question. So there you go. Jacob,
All right, Jacob.
Pick one.
I'll take your Bible question.
Okay, go ahead.
Tim.
Uh-huh.
The Old Testament was done in Hebrew.
That is correct.
And Aramaic.
That is correct. Mm-hmm.
And Greek was the New Testament.
The New Testament. Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's right. Way to go.
Nicely done.
Jacob gets it right from Kentucky. The Old Testament was given in Hebrew, the most of it.
And Aramaic.
In Aramaic.
And Aramaic.
Yes, and then I don't know. Mine says Hebrew, but anyway,
I think
Greek.
Aramaic. Yeah, the New Testament was Aramaic.
The Gospels had some Aramaic
and Greek,
but the New Testament was Greek for the most part.
Yeah. Hey, what's your question for us, Jacob?
I didn't have one today. I just wanted to answer one today.
All right. Hey, thanks for listening. Have a great weekend, buddy.
Absolutely. Thank you for calling from Western Kentucky. And we have a lot of listeners there in Western Kentucky with all our radio stations there. American Family Radio. Who's up next, Ed?
Bus coming back to Mississippi.
Back.
Nancy is on the line. Nancy, welcome to Trivia Friday.
Hi there. Good morning, fellas.
Good morning,
enjoyed
Nancy.
this program very much. Thank you.
Thank
enjoyed
you,
this
Nancy.
program a lot.
Thank you.
Okay.
Ask, answer, or both?
I wanted to answer, if it hasn't already been answered, the 8 states that begin with them.
It has, but why don't you go, since you don't know, you didn't know, go ahead and answer. Go ahead. What are they, real quick?
Maine, Maryland, Massachusetts, Michigan, Minnesota, Mississippi, Missouri, and Minnesota. I said that already.
You
I'm
already
sorry,
said
I
Minnesota. Yeah.
I did, didn't I?
Yeah, the Democrats like to count Minnesota twice, but we can't do that. Montana, that's right.
All right, go. Nicely done.
Well,
that was
wait,
really
well
nice.
done.
And now President Trump has talked about adding Manitoba.
All right, of course.
To our states.
Well,
But anyway,
Nancy, somebody earlier got that correct.
Yeah,
they won a cap, but nicely done on that. Hey, do you have a question
Okay,
for us?
all right.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't, but I just want to tell you thank you all so much for your program. It's been an inspiration.
Oh,
well, bless your heart.
Thank you for your kind words, Nancy.
I
God
tell you
bless
what,
you.
I just feel led to.
All right,
Give her a
good,
cap.
yes.
Yeah.
I just feel generous.
Well,
Good,
she
let's
got
do it.
she got all the M's.
Yeah.
And
M&Ms and
yeah.
There you
so
go.
Send her a ball cap. Don't you
Nancy,
think?
how about a ball cap?
I'll take it.
All
I'll
right.
be happy
Okay.
to receive it. Thank you, then.
All
Stay
right,
on the
we're gonna
line.
stay on the line. We'll put you on hold, and Cindy will come on and get your information, and we will get that out.
I got a question for you, fellas.
Yes,
All right.
sir.
So we've talked about how bad the weather's going to be tomorrow.
Tonight and tomorrow.
Is it tonight
Starts
too?
tonight.
Well,
Yes, got to hunker down.
Obviously, depending on where you live.
Right.
So for our friends in the East Coast, Saturday night probably be
That's
the
right.
weather.
Moves off to the east, Nashville and up through there.
But so do you know where the expression "batten down the hatches" comes from?
It's it's out there on the high seas. They had those hatches, and the storms were raging on the high seas, and they'd batten down the hatch, get below deck
on the ship.
Ship.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Did you know that, Ed?
Yeah.
Did you know that?
Because my father was a Marine.
Yeah.
And we were constantly being told batten down the hatches, and usually that was followed with.
Well, it generally
language.
means prepare for trouble.
Right.
Get ready.
Right.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry, I missed it. Well, you said your dad was a Marine, and what now? I'm sorry.
And we were constantly being told to batten down the hatches, and I said then it was usually followed by stronger language.
This before he was a Christian.
Before he was a Christian.
Right.
Before any of us were.
Right.
So.
All right, your Trivia Friday on American Family Radio. Any need to repeat our questions? Or are we?
No,
good?
we just did.
You
Yeah.
did? Okay, go ahead.
All right, we go to Georgia, and David is on the line. David, welcome to Trivia Friday.
Good morning.
Good morning,
Great to be on
David.
the show.
Thanks for calling. Where do you live in Georgia?
I'm in downtown Chula.
Downtown?
Downtown Chula, Georgia.
JJ's probably been there. He's been everywhere, man.
I don't think I have been. So that's
He's been very,
sir.
He's been very close. We're near Tipton, Georgia.
Oh yeah, I've been to Tipton 3 times. Wonderful area there.
Indeed.
That's amazing. You can remember how many times you've been to all these places.
The first time it was a hospital, and they had the hospital staff, and they just wanted, you know how you have these team building, come make us laugh. And it was funny because when I checked in the hotel, they said, hospital took care of it. And then I walked up there, and I had a hoodie, and I was just in sneakers, and they're like, hello at the desk. Then they pulled my name up. Oh, Dr. Jasper. Yeah, we're glad you're here. And I thought, no, look at this. All of a sudden, I got some street cred because they're so used to having doctors come through to see about, maybe would you join our staff? And they just accidentally had Dr. Jasper in there. But, I got a minute.
What kind of surgery do you do?
That's right. And so, but then the pregnancy center there 2 times after that, once and a few years later, I was invited back. Great area, wonderful area.
All right, David, ask, answer, or do both.
I will attempt to answer and do both.
All right, which one? You want to try to answer?
How about the Tiberius? Is that one still available?
It's still on the table. A Holy Land type question. Lake Tiberias is more commonly known as what, David?
I will say the Sea of Galilee.
Sea of Galilee.
That's right.
Tim, when you take trips, you guys go out on the Sea of Galilee, don't you?
Yes, we do. We take a boat ride.
How can people find out about that?
Well,
you just got back from this year, but next year.
Yeah, we're going next March back to Israel, and folks want to look into that trip, going with us, they can go to wildmangroup.com. WILDMON group.com, and all the information.
And that's all the other trips you take as well.
Yeah.
Tours.
That seems like a long way off, but a trip that big, for many, it's a once-in-a-lifetime trip. And you might want to send your pastor and their wife, or
good idea.
go for your anniversary.
Yeah.
But you want to plan that far out.
We go to the Sea of Galilee, as David just said.
Or
among
Lake
other
Tiberias.
places.
Yeah.
Hey, David, what's your question for us?
Yes, I have a body of water question for you gentlemen. So what freshwater body of water is the lowest elevation in the world? The lowest elevation freshwater body of water.
So it's not the Dead Sea because that's salt water, but the lowest fresh water. Is that going to be somewhere like around Death Valley or something?
Man, that's a great question.
Tim, you
I
know
that
about
I know the Dead
geography.
Sea is lowest.
Yeah.
But
Freshwater,
but
maybe
it's
the
not
Sea of
considered-
Galilee. I don't know.
Not considered.
Well, let's
fresh
say the
water.
Sea of Galilee. It's not too far over. Sea of Galilee, Lake Tiberias.
You gentlemen are perfectly spot on.
Wow.
Yeah.
Way to go,
Tim,
guys.
that's Tim Wildman.
Yeah,
Nice job, Tim.
Well, Dead Sea is the lowest place on Earth, and the Sea of Galilee is probably 75 miles from there north.
Not
But
as
I don't know
crow
how
flies.
the elevation doesn't go very much.
75 miles north as the camel runs.
There's a camel run.
Yes.
Camel runs.
The one hump.
Dromedary.
Thank you, David.
Is that it?
Yes,
Yes.
that was
We-
his que- he answered, asked and answered.
All right, let's do ours for the last time today, real quick.
All right. I have two remaining. Monday is St. Patrick's Day, but St. Patrick wasn't actually Irish. Is that true or false? And then geography question, what is the name of the sea between Italy and Greece?
Of tranquility.
I hope that St. Patrick's thing, that's going to mess up everything I
I
ever
know.
knew about Christmas and
Yeah.
theology.
Bigfoot.
And Bigfoot, everything. Lump them
Everything-
all in there.
everything's
I'll
on the
say,
line here.
What else have they been lying to us about? You know, the grassy knoll. Here's what I've got. Who was
landing on the moon?
This is from no. I know the answer to that. Who was Boaz and Ruth's famous great grandson? This late in the show, so they had a child named Obed, who had a child named Jesse, and so I want to know what their great grandson, famous great grandson of Boaz and Ruth. Tim?
Oh, my lone question I have remaining is, what has been the top-selling SUV in the United States for many years now, including 2023 and 2024? What's the name of that automobile? Name that automobile.
Name that car.
All right, go ahead, Ed.
All right, we're going to Oklahoma, and Levi is on the line. Levi is 14 years old. Levi, welcome to Trivia Friday.
Hello.
How you
Hey,
doing,
Levi.
Hey.
Hey, Levi, where do you live in Oklahoma?
The Panhandle.
Out in no man's land?
Yep, basically.
Levi, I'm going to be in Oklahoma in like a week and a half to Weatherford. I know
Yeah.
that's not near you, but I'm excited. That will be my first time in Weatherford, and it's on the old Route 66.
Ooh,
Yeah.
nice.
Hey, well, Levi, you want to ask, answer, or both?
I'd like to do both.
Which one you want to answer?
I'll do the one about St. Patrick.
All right, here's
Here
the
we go.
question, Levi. Monday is St. Patrick's Day, but St. Patrick wasn't actually Irish. Is that true or false?
That is true.
It is true.
What?
He was not Irish.
What?
He is known
British.
for taking the gospel to Ireland.
What a fraud.
And running off the snakes.
He was actually from Great Britain, what we consider Great Britain, maybe Scotland or Wales, but he was kidnapped by Irish pirates, and when he became, and he escaped, and when he became a Christian, he felt like God telling him to go back to Ireland and take the gospel there, and that's how Christianity came to.
And he became known as the patron saint of Ireland.
Yeah, he's not technically a saint in terms of having been canonized by the Catholic Church. But
Here we go. Here we go with our deep dive into sainthood.
But we do
I
know
was just
he's just trying to throw a little.
I was just trying to
four-leaf
be happy
clover,
with it.
try to add little things.
Go ahead and
we know
correct me.
about St. Patrick. Hey, nicely done, Levi.
Hey, Levi, did you have to look that up, or did you just know that? Did we lose Levi?
I think
Levi, well, when you live in the panhandle of Oklahoma, this happens. You know what I'm saying? You lose contact with the world sometimes just for no reason at all. Or either he was zapped up by, in a UFO or something. We don't know.
Right. Levi, apologize.
We can either confirm or deny. But if the hatches weren't battened down,
that's exactly
then your back's against the wall, right, JJ?
Yes.
Oh, it is.
Yes.
And,
you reach for the stars.
You reach for the stars.
But it doesn't
But
matter
if you can't give 110%,
that's
you ain't
right.
graduating from any school.
Well, you're not going to get enough bars on your phone. If your back's not against the wall and you're not reaching from the stars, good luck with whatever cell service.
Is that right, Ed?
Yeah, absolutely.
Can you hear me now?
Absolutely.
You want to review sainthood for me again?
No, I'm leaving it. I'm leaving it alone. Not going to catch me plucking the three-leaf clovers, four-leaf clovers, or whatever.
Oh my word!
All right, I guess we got one call left.
St.
We
Patrick
go to Texas.
Wasn't even Irish. Good night. Huh? That's just
well, I hate to disappoint
I
you.
know.
His name wasn't even Patrick. It was Bob.
Bob.
But St. Bob.
Like Bob Newhart?
Yeah, but St. Bob just didn't go well, so they named him Patrick.
No.
All right, Orban, welcome to the program, and we're just about out of time. I hate to say this, but
good to hear from you guys. Hey, I wanted to ask you a real quick question. Do you know who won the Iditarod this morning at 3 o'clock?
Wow, this morning. Tell us the winner.
It was Jesse Holmes.
Jesse Holmes.
I was out riding my horse last night singing Cattle Call, and I thought, you know what, this is the Iditarod, and Jesse won this morning at 1,100. They added 100 miles to it, so this year it started in Fairbanks, and Jesse Holmes won it this morning at 3 a little bit before 3 o'clock.
Hey, Orban, we are just
that's
about
amazing.
Sorry, we clowned
about
around
out of
so
time.
much. We've just about run out of time.
Okay.
Which one you want to answer, Orban?
No, that's all I wanted to do, just that one.
All right. Thanks, buddy.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much. Hey, my wife lived in Alaska, worked at a bank, and the bank that was offering the purse, the winnings, it was her bank, and she got to be right there at the start of the Iditarod.
That's what that is. Orban's talking about the
Iditarod
race, the big
the most
race.
famous race, talking about mush, say mush, and you got those mush
That's where
dogs.
the expression first came into existence. If you ain't the lead dog, the view's always the same.
Yes, that and
You
batten
remember
down the hatch.
Yeah.
When you come around turn
Right.
number 500 and you got those dogs out in front, you got to batten down the hatch.
You batten down your hatch.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you want to go ahead and get
the only question I have left, what is the name of the sea between Italy and Greece?
Aegean?
No, that's close. It's the Ionian Sea.
The Ionian.
Boaz and Ruth, their famous great-grandson.
David, King David.
The best-selling SUV in America for the last several years is what, fellas?
I'm going to say a Honda something.
I'm going to say it's the Chevy. They're,
The best-selling SUV in America for 2023 and 2024 and some previous years is the Toyota RAV4.
Really?
The Toyota RAV4.
I want to give another shout-out in case she wasn't listening. Happy birthday to my daughter, Sadie Morgan. She goes back and forth listening to us at NPR. So in case she wasn't listening,
Good old Southern girl with two names, right?
That's exactly right.
Come here, Sadie Morgan.
Happy birthday.
Get over here right now.
Sadie Morgan.
All right, have a great weekend, everybody. As JJ said, stay safe because it's going to be bad weather weekend. Hello, everyone. I'm Tim Wildman, president of American Family Association and American Family Radio. Hey, our tours this year are 2/3 filled up already. Pretty amazing.